Hello everyone, this is Calvin, Professor C here. So today I'm going to tell you about the difference between a mortgage broker and a bank mortgage specialist. Which one is better? So let's divide this topic into two sections and from two different perspectives. One is from being a mortgage broker versus being a bank mortgage specialist, and the other perspective is from a client perspective, whether you should choose a mortgage broker to help you complete your mortgage or a bank mortgage specialist. So first of all, let's talk about being a mortgage broker versus being a bank mortgage specialist. A lot of people, when they first join want to join the mortgage industry, they have this very common question, whether they should be a mortgage broker or bank mortgage specialist. Now, I have been both before, so I have my own opinion. And when I was a bank mortgage specialist, I think back then the bank has, quite a very similar lending guidelines for all the big five banks. And so, and even the B bank has quite similar lending guideline. So at that time, with a lot of marketing budget, a lot of branch in the neighborhood, and the recognition, the brand recognition. I think at that time, being a bank mortgage specialist is a little bit better, but time has changed, and now I think the big five banks have quite unique lending guideline and lending program for their client. Some bank focus on business for self client, while some bank tailor their niche to a new immigrant, non-resident client, and some would entertain more about multi-rental client. So the big five bank has their own niche market. This is good or bad, right? If you are, say that if you are one of the bank mortgage specialists, but it just so happened that your clientele doesn't fit that bank's niche, then you will have a hard time trying to find a suitable client for yourself. So that's how it is right now for bank mortgage specialists. I think you need to tailor your clientele to that bank's niche market, and sometimes that is easier said than done. But if you can do it, bank mortgage specialist is not too bad of an option. However, I think a better option might be being a mortgage broker. Not only mortgage broker give you, a little bit wider choice, because you have not only the bank products, but you have also the B lender, like some trust company, some credit union. You also have access to mortgage investment company, or make private mortgage, and all sorts of different types of stuff. So having the regulation being so tough on a lot of borrower, personally speaking, at this point of time, I think being an independent mortgage broker is a better choice, because you have a little bit more lender to choose from, so that it tailored to a wider range of client. So that's from being a mortgage broker's perspective. Now, as a client, when you need a mortgage, who should you go to? Should you go to a bank or should you go to a mortgage broker? Again, I just mentioned different bank has different niche market and their cup of tea. And I think if you know that you fit into that bank's lending guideline quite well, for example, if you're a business owner and you went into a bank that that like to borrow to business owner, then I think that could be a good choice. The problem is that being a normal client that is not in the industry, sometimes it's difficult to find which bank fit you the most. And if you have to run into the first bank and they decline you, and then you go to the second bank and they decline you again, and then you're just basically testing your luck. And if that is the case, then I think if you do not know which bank is more suitable for you, I think you should go to a mortgage broker, because they generally have a wider range of knowledge, and they would know which lender would fit you the most. And so if you are a client that you are very knowledgeable and you know exactly which bank would best suitable for you, then I think yes, a bank is a good choice. And also a bank is kind of a one-stop shop. They have saving account, checking account, credit card, and all sorts of stuff, even safety box. But a lot of other B lender now have credit card and all sorts of stuff. But if you know exactly which program, which bank suitable for you, then I think go to the bank is a good choice. Otherwise, go and get a mortgage broker. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this week's video, and I will see you next week.